A hip injury. Sorry. A hip injury to Kulabdam sees Sangarthit and Suablack step up to main event, an absolutely stacked Friday Fights card. This is the One Friday Fights 114 preview show, and it's coming up next on Fighting with Friends. Welcome back to Fighting with Friends, and still the undisputed African fighting podcast champion of the world. One Friday Fights 114 takes place this Friday at 2:30 p.m. South African time from the legendary Lupini Stadium in Bangkok, Thailand. With me breaking down the card is reigning defending undisputed being champion of the world is, of course, Brother Guy.
Ooh. Mm. Let's go, bro.
Yes, yes. So
Let's make this
PG,
stack
One
score down.
Friday Fights 114, like you say, bro, stacked to the gills here, bro.
Yeah.
But as
And
always,
I'm
we will start.
at the top of the card.
So yeah, at the top of the card, a change in our main event, but we do see
Yes, sir.
Sangarthit. He is undefeated in one championship, 1-0. Last time out, beat Super Chan by unanimous decision. Of course, married into royalty as Rodtang's brother-in-law, but he is coming up against the ever dangerous Suablack, who is 6-3. He's got 3 wins by KO. He's in a 3-fight slide. And last time out, he
Mm.
lost to Dmitry Kovtun by unanimous decision. So yeah, bruh, is Suablack gonna get back to winning ways here, BG?
Mm.
We know, of course, that he is very dangerous, bruh. Very
Yeah.
dangerous fight.
Yeah.
So how's this one gonna play out, bruh? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, dude. Again, like I said in our new show, go check that out. We did a little bit earlier, but I'm a bit gutted about the main event not happening. That was the fight that really like brought me to this fight card. Obviously, there's other fights on the fight card. I was also like, whoa, 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 what's going on here? But Kulabdam and Lobo was really selling it for me. I was like, hey, that's gonna be a six fight, especially because they both were technically ranked in. They are technically ranked in the bantamweight division. So it's like, you know what I mean? That's movement for that division. Some of them could have gone for a title shot after that. So I was looking forward to it. But obviously, best of wishes going out to Kulabdam. But for this fight over here, I want to say Black's gonna win 80. I really do. I'm a fan of him. I like his buzz. He's got that killer dark instinct about him, which I love, right? But he has been losing, right? And the ways that he's been taking losses as well are showing me that easy. Has he reached his peak, right? Because we look at those losses, knocked out by Cameron Nabati in the first round. Because Cameron Nabati was freaking everybody. I get that, and he was also bigger, much bigger than Super Black. Kulabdam freaked him as well in the third round. But Kulabdam also knocks everybody out. And then Dmitry Kovtin beat him by decision. And that for me rounds it out for me because he lost in all possible ways, just not TKOs, but I mean 2 knockouts, right? And then a decision. So you lost in 3 ways that is like in all possible ways you could possibly lose in that fight. And Dmitry Kovtin took it to him, and I didn't like what I saw in that fight, right? And I think Sangarthit fights like that. He's got a very much of a high pressure, speedy kind of attacks. Like it's very twitchy and it's fast, and he's taller. He's taller than Suablack. He's got that reach and length, and he fights out of that length really well. He utilizes it in a very good way. His body kicks, they come at you at such a pace you don't even see it coming. And I think Sangarthit, for me, is just slightly a level above Suablack. I know it's a big statement to make, but I mean, if you look at the training videos with Rodtang, if you look at how he's game planning, if you look at his fights outside when he fought in Rajabdan, and this guy can put it on you, dude. And I thought he was going to lose against Super Yechan. Super Yechan is tough. You know that Myanmar guys don't get knocked out. And Super Yechan was a hard thing to put away. But he beat him, and he did beat him convincingly. He won every round convincingly in a very good fashion. So I'm thinking to myself, oh, but I take that style of Sangarthit, right, and look at how he does fight. I think he beats Suablack. Black. Black is dangerous because he's got a lot of power, right? But Suablack Black doesn't really set up that power punches really well. He does tend to walk into the void, and then when in the void, he lets that hands go, and then because he believes he hits harder than you, right? I want to see him set that up a little bit more. I want to see Suablack Black maybe utilize a lot of calf kicks, a lot of tips. You know, when he enters the void, enter the void with an elbow, so you can protect your head, and then you're in the clinching positions, and you can let those knees go, and then you can let those power punches and power elbows go. Because Suablack Black is like that, dude. Once he gets into range, the dude can put you lights out, bro. And I think he can definitely do that against Sangarthit, but he's going to have to establish that range first, which I think he's going to have a difficult time doing. Um, so there's a lot of avenues for both guys, but I think Sangarthit will win the fight on decision, if I'm being honest here. Suablack, if he wins the fight, it's probably going to be by finish, but I think he might struggle to find that range as the shorter fighter, and also just primarily because of his style and how he sets his stuff, he strikes up. It's not very much like if you watch the fight against when he fought Kulabdam, that was 3 rounds. I think knocked him out in the third round. But for majority of that first and second round, Kulabdam was piecing him up with body kicks, just conditioning Suablack so that when Kulabdam does let that left hand go, it's going to land, right? Suablack is a similar style to Kulabdam, but it minus that conditioning in terms of, I don't mean conditioning in terms of strength conditioning, I mean conditioning in terms of conditioning your opponent by softening him to the point when you do let your power punches go, it's most likely going to work. Suablack doesn't do that. He just goes into there and power punches you immediately. And that's why you see him getting beaten or you see him getting knocked out so often because he leaves himself in those positions to do that. Because he's a bit of a brawler. Um, and Sangarthit's a little bit more polished. He's a little bit more precise with his strikes, and I think that's why I feel like he's going to win the fight. I hope that Suablack wins, but I just think Sangarthit's going to get the job done.
Well said, BG. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, as always, let us know your thoughts in the comments for that main event. We'll keep it moving then to a catchweight fight here, BG. And this one also really spoiled to have this one on a one championship Friday fights card. Two
Yeah,
absolute mainstays of the
yeah,
organization here. We have Seksan, the 36-year-old, was 10-2 in one championship, 2 wins by TKO. Last time out, he lost to Asa Tenpao by TKO. He's coming up against another absolute stalwart here in Muangthai, who is 9-4-0. He's also got 2 wins by KO, 1 by TKO. He's on a 2-fight streak. Last time out, he beat Ibrahim Abdul Medzinov by third round TKO. So BG again really spoiled for this one. Expecting a
yeah.
banger here. Who gets it done and why?
Yeah, this is going to probably be one of the fights of the night, and probably one of the most bloodied one as well because of the type of fighters that they are, right? You got Seksan, who's the man who heals to nobody. And if you look at that record that you mentioned, that 10-2, it's actually very much a star-studded record, right? I mean, it's only 2 losses. That's very good. That's very, very good. And those 2 losses only came very recently. So, I mean, yeah, I think Seksan is an absolute warrior beast. And I was very surprised that he got knocked out by Tensitin Pao because he's so durable and so hard to put away. And his style also, Seksan's style is very much the style that's going to actually favor Muangthai, the elbow zombie, right? Because Muangthai is exactly that. He's the elbow zombie. What does it mean? He's going to close the void on you and he's going to elbow the hell out of you. He's going to elbow you into a different stratosphere. That's what he does. He puts it on you in a way. He loves that clinching position. That's what he loves to do. And Seksan doesn't like to fight on the outside. Seksan doesn't like to distance management, jabs, low kicks, deep kicks, jab, and then throw over. And that's not Seksan. Seksan is walk you down, and we're going to get into a phone booth, and we're going to throw the best shots we have at each other, and we see who falls first. That's what Seksan does really well. We look at his fights against Asatem Pa. He was pretty much winning that fight up until that third round. He was winning. He beat Sulan U in a fight that was pretty much in the phone booth for 3 rounds. No guy took a back step in that fight. So the same thing's going to happen here. Mointa is the younger fighter, but he isn't as durable as Seksan. So he's going to have to be a little bit more defensively sound and not get sucked into that brawl. It's going to be difficult for him because of the type of fighter that he is, where he wants to be in a clinch. But sometimes you're going to have to sometimes abandon your first game plan and utilize the second game plan to get back into your first game plan. So Mointa sometimes is going to have to be the matador in this fight here and actually, manage the bullish style of Seksan. And then once I would say Ramesh coach, I would tell Muay Thai, actually let Seksan walk you down and you bring him into a corner, but your back is Muay Thai's back is in the corner. And then once they get into that corner, Seksan has a habit of lunging in and like he lunges into his strikes and he lunges into an elbow, he lunges into an overhand. So you kind of once it's there, then you use lateral movement and you reverse that position and you put Seksan's back into the corner. Now you can go into your clinching positions and let the elbows go from there because now you eliminate the space completely and that favors your domain as well. So I think it's a very intriguing matchups because of that, because of the stylistic battle between the two guys here. And for me, it all comes down to who's going to be the most durable in this fight. I think Seksan's the more durable fighter. Granted, he did get knocked out in his last fight, so he's 36 years old. He is starting to show us the wear and tear now. He is taking damage in a different way. He isn't just walking through everyone's strikes anymore. And Monctai is that kind of fighter where He wants to make it ugly. That's how he beat Ibrahim in his last fight. He made it very ugly. Ibrahim was taller than him, fought out of range. Utilized distance management really well. And Mounghthai had to realize, listen, I'm going to put it on this man here, and then went at him into that third round and really took it to him and basically won the fight. So, yeah, I think it's a very much a fight that's gonna bring the fans to the off their seats. They're gonna be losing their mind for this one. So don't blink, ladies and gentlemen, because that's gonna be probably one of the fights of the night.
Nicely done, BG. Thank you very much. And yeah, let us know your thoughts in the comment. Very much looking forward to that one. But we'll move now to some featherweight Muay Thai. We've got two debutants,
Mm,
PTT and
yeah,
Enis Abdelali. Anything you
yeah.
can tell us here, BG?
No, unfortunately, my beautiful people, I can't. I can't, unfortunately, just because I don't know literally anything. The only thing I can take from this fight is that PTT. There's hype around this guy. I know that Tetsuya has been raving about PTT. He does look really powerful. I think he's been fighting in. He's been training with Nabil, if I'm not mistaken. I can be corrected in the comments. Please feel free to correct me in the comments. But I think I saw images and footage of them training together on X. So PTT comes with that kind of sort of what's what I'm looking for, hype. There's
Hype,
hype
yeah.
around him, and that's why he's the third fight from the top. That's a featured
Mm.
bout. There's athletes on the
Yeah.
fight card that could have been higher up, you know what I mean? But
Yes.
he's there, so that means
Yeah.
that he's obviously coming into this fight card with a lot of credentials. There has to be a lot of credentials around him. So yeah, let's see what
Yeah.
these two faceless figures on the website right now, what they look like on Friday.
The mystery mania. But yeah, okay. We'll keep it moving then. We'll go to some flyweight Muay Thai. Arguably the most stacked division in the entire organization. But here we have Petsukumvit, whose record in one championship is 4-4. He's got one by KO, one by TKO. Last time he beat Silvio Vites by second round TKO. Friday fights 1-1-1. He's coming up against Aslam John Ortikov, who is 21 years old, record in one championship, undefeated at 7-0, two by KO, one by TKO. Last time out, he beat Dedu Langlek by unanimous decision. So, BG, is Ortikov's O gonna go? Or do you think he's
Mm.
gonna remain undefeated here, bruh?
I think he's going to remain undefeated here. Now, there's a number of reasons why. I think under different circumstances, there were different fights. And I'll tell you why. The reason why I put one Friday fights 1-1-1 on our notes there, that's because that fight was literally 3 weeks ago. That fight was
Mm,
literally 3 weeks ago. And so he's basically fighting two fights in 1 month, Petsukumvit. So now my question is, yes, he ended Silvio Vitas in the second round, so he didn't really take any damage in that fight. It was a good fight. I remember the fight. It was a brutal fight from Petsukumvit. This is a late replacement because I think it was supposed to be Panpayak against Aslam John. Panpayak got injured, he's not taking the fight. Now Petsukumvit is in. So it's short notice for Petsukumvit in my opinion. Also, Petsukumvit's style is very much hard punching, heavy hitting, close you down, and just throw some bombs on you, right? But I've also seen Petsukumvit get floored before. I've seen him get knocked out before. I've seen him not win fights, right? Aslam John, I thought he was going to lose against 31 Lek, but he did and he won that fight. I thought he was going to lose against Kompet. He beat Kompet as well. He's proven me every single time why he beat Yotong Tai. He beat Wacharapun as well. So that's some tough guys, some good names, some good up and coming names as well. And Wacharapun is like leveled up his career at the moment. He's really looking fantastic at the moment. And Aslam John just walked through him, bruh. So he also beat, remember Kawatim, your favorite, that Jack flyweight. You
mm.
watched him fight before, and you were like, "Yo, this dude looks freakish." He beat Kawatim. So I just think that Aslam John is going to be able to utilize his best attribute, which is his footwork. That's why he's undefeated, because he stays out of danger, and he's very quick, he's fast, he's very creative. He's got brilliant footwork flow. So I just think that he's going to dance away here to a possible 3 round finish or decision win.
Fair play, BG. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, let us know your thoughts in the comments there. Do you think that Petsukumvit can take the O here of the young prospect
You must,
Aslam John Ortikov?
you must
BG?
remember now, Petsukumvit before beating Silvio Vites was on a 4 fight losing streak. He lost to Kong Suk, Zhao Siyai twice. Chausa knocked him out. He fought Kongtorani. You know what I mean? So he's been in there with some top guys, but I've seen him get floored before. So yeah,
Mm,
I want Petsukumvit to win because I want to see Aslam John's out taken away from him because he's very cocky. He's got a lot of antics in the ring. He's very characteristic. I think he's funny, but I also feel like he needs to be humbled. So I want
mm.
Petsukumvit to beat him, but I just don't think Petsukumvit is the guy under these current circumstances. You know what I mean? If it was a if they gave Petsukumvit more time for the fight, game plan, more better fight camp, and not just a 3 week fight camp, it might be a different fight in a fight. It might be a different fight in total.
Mm-hmm. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let us know if you agree with BG there. BG is, of course, our chief analyst, so be
Yeah,
careful if you are going to bet against him. But all right, BG, we'll keep moving, and we're going to go
really.
to some strawweight Muay Thai,
This
which
guy.
is also quite a stacked division here. We have Kongchai, who could have
Yes, sir.
arguably, like you were saying, could have been the main event here. The 22-year-old is 8-5 and 0. He's got 2 wins by KO. Last time out, he beat Chok Preacher by second round KO. He's coming up against Kompet, who is also quite experienced and seasoned in one championship. His record is 6-3 and 0. He's got 1 win by TKO. Last time out, he lost to Chartpayak by second round KO. Two of these three losses coming to Chartpayak, and the other was to the champ, Prajanchai.
There we go.
BG, how's this one gonna play out, bro?
Yeah, dude. I like I said off camera that this fight could have also been main event considering that Lobo wasn't in. And I mean, Lobo and Kulabdam is no longer the fight. You make the main event a fighter that only had one fight in the one championship, and Suablack is on a 3 fight losing streak. So I would have been like, no, dude. Kongchai's got so many bonuses. He's fought a ton of main events on the Friday fight cards, and for competitors fought a couple of main events in the Friday fight card. That's in a strawweight division. They are ranked. It's no catch weight. Let these cats throw down in the main event, bro. That's what I would have done.
Mm,
But okay, it's fine. This is gonna be a trilogy fight between the two guys. Kompet is 2-0 in this matchup. So I'm quite keen to see what Kongchai does next. Because if I look at the two athletes, Kongchai has been fighting more frequently of late. He also has leveled up a little bit more for me. Kompet, when he fought Chartpayak, I saw the same Kompet when I saw him fight against Kongchai the first time. I didn't see anything different. I was like, it's the same guy, same fighter, same kind of, stocky, short arms, short legs, but just power, just power. He's just made out of fucking cement. Power guy, right? But Kongchai has leveled up, bro. His game is different. The guy's got different ways of how he sets up that left body kick, which is his best weapon. His boxing is fantastic. His elbows are fantastic. And one of the big things about Kongchai that I noticed in his last couple of fights is that he's got some good conditioning. He's able to take the shots now. He's not just getting knocked down so easily. I mean, both these guys lost to Chartpayak in their last fight, but I think Kongchai, no, Chartpayak before that. Um, and what's quite interesting is that all these guys are pretty much on the same fight card. On this fight card, Chartpayak and Ramadan Ondash is also on this fight card. But anyway, I actually think that Kongchai is going to get the W. I think he's going to actually get one back over Kompet and not go 3-0 against him, just purely because he's leveled up a little bit more based on the fact that he's been able to fight so much more frequently. As if you fight more frequently, you're obviously going to get better, right? If you're inactive, how do you know what you've learned in the gym is going to work if you're not fighting, right? Kompet hasn't been as frequently as active as Kongchai. However, that being said, he does have the power advantage. He's got 2 wins over him, so that's obviously going to help Kompet in this fight. But I think Kongchai, because the momentum's on his side, he's taller. He's developed his skill sets. I've watched the development of the fighter. I think he's going to get the job done here, AD. And I can see him probably getting the second round or third round finish. If not, he wins on decision quite easily.
nicely done there, BG. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, let us know your thoughts in the comment section. But yeah, any final thoughts on this one, BG?
I just not really. I just think it's going to be a tough fight to watch. Again, this fight card is stacked of a lot of top fighters, and this one's also going to keep your eye on this one as well.
Fair play, fair play. All right, we'll go down the card, one fight, and we'll go to some strawweight Muay Thai. Here we have massive fight on the card, Chartpayak.
Yeah.
The man is undefeated in the one championship at 7-0. He's coming, and the last time out, he beat Kompet by second round KO. He's coming up against the other Ondash brother, Ramadan Ondash, his brother, of course, stealing the show last week. And
Mhm.
Ramadan Ondash also undefeated at 3-0. So PG, someone's gotta go, bro.
Yeah.
Who's it gonna be?
Again, I want Chartpayak to win for a number of reasons. One is the bonus machine. All his fights are bonuses. If you look at Chartpayak, of his record in one championship, he's only got two fights that's gone to decision. Everything else was knockouts. Fascinating fighter, good southpaw, powerful left hand. I just think that he should be getting a contract by now. He's beaten all the guys that's got contracts or that was making their way up to contracts. I just think that Chatpayak is putting himself in a position now that if he wins this fight, they have to give him a contract here, bro. And also Ramadan and Dash, like Aslam John Ortikov, needs to be humbled, bro. I have to say it. Ramadan and Dash is 18 years old. He's strong. He's powerful. He's very very jacked. I even question some of the training regimes and the drug testing there. I want to know what's going on there, because these guys are swollen, bro. Anyway, that being said, Ramadan Dash, what does he bring to the table? He brings you youth, he brings you speed, he brings you power, but he doesn't bring you a lot of weapons other than a very, very strong left hand. I would even argue that the fight against Kongchai, he lost that fight. He got a knockdown at the end of the first round where he was getting beaten up, by the way. He got a knockdown on Kongchai. And then round two and round three, Kongchai basically kicked his right arm into a different world. He couldn't even use his right arm. That's how bad he got beaten up in that second and third round. But they gave him the win. I don't know why, but they gave him the win. So I just think that he needs to be humbled here. And I think Chat Payak, who is pretty much unstoppable at this moment in time, must humble him because Chat Payak's got the skill set to do it. I just wonder how he's going to deal with that speed and power from Ramadan Dash. Because Ramadan Dash in the first round is one of the toughest problems to face because he's got a lot of power. He's stopped a lot of guys with that left hand before. When it lands, people drop to their knees, dude. And he can throw it at different iterations and at different speeds. It's a difficult weapon to kind of manage. So I just think that Chapayak really has to be super focused in that first round. And once they get through the first round, he can then go and put his game plan on full display and walk him down and utilize that tips, set up that left hand, which is beautiful of Chapayak. And I think he can knock Ramadan Dash out today. I want him to. I want him to humiliate him. Let this boy learn because Ramadan Dash he's got this attitude of like, he's the best thing that one championship has ever gotten. Like one championship was lucky to have him there. I just feel like, hold on, you're only 18 years old, dude. You know what I mean? It's only a Friday fight squad. You know what I'm saying? Just hang on. I think Payak is gonna basically this weekend show him that his levels to this game.
Yeah, very much looking forward to that one. Super exciting prospect on the card there in Ramadan Ondash. But yeah, let's see. Like I said, someone's all got to go. And you can let us know in the comments who you think it's going to be there, ladies and gentlemen. But okay, then we'll go to another strawweight Muay Thai bout. And here we've got the long anticipated one championship debut of Nabil Anane's younger brother, Yonis
Mm-hmm.
Anane. He is, of course, the youngest WBC Muay Thai champion ever at 17 years old. And now he's officially making his debut. Coming up against Liu Junchao, whose record in one championship is 0-1. Last time out, he lost to Akito Nakashima by split decision. So, Brother Gaia, how much do you know about Yonis Anane?
Not much other than he's Anand's brother, but
Hmm.
I have seen some footage, and I think he's devastating to watch. But he's got a killer instinct in him. There, he's got good range as well. Fights a lot like Nabil, pretty much the same style. Um, but yeah, if you've seen Nabil fight, you know what you're gonna get from Yunus. He's just a lot shorter than Nabil, but
Yeah.
very similar style. Just very very much a similar style. I think this is a good matchup for both of these guys because Liu is not that much. He's not that much older than him. He's only 20 years old. Also, only has one fight in one championship. He's very green. I think it's a very good matchup in terms of where these guys are at in their careers. Even though Jonas is a champion, he's only 17 years old. And Liu Jinchao, I'm trying to remember how the fight went against Nakashima. I can't picture it, so I can't really remember what the dude's style is like. I just think, if I remember correctly, he's very boxing heavy. He's very boxing heavy. So let's see how this fight goes. I don't have much notes in terms of how it will play out. I'm just very, very um, excited and anticipated to watch Jonas. Look
Look
at
at this
that
guy.
dude.
He's a child there.
Yeah,
That's
look at
child.
him.
It's crazy. Yeah, of course, very excited. He's got a lot to live up to here. But like you said, unfortunately, he doesn't have the freakish height of his brother. But again, youngest WBC Muay Thai champion. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I'm expecting big things here, and I
me
think the
too.
one championship. I mean, he is Nabil's brother, so it wouldn't have been that hard to secure his signature. But I
Yeah.
think one to look at there for the future, BG. Yeah,
And want to add to this fight that is in the strawweight Muay Thai division, where we know fighters like the Aljamari brothers and Alif from Soda Japan, for example. There's Trajan
mm,
Chai, there's Diabella, there's all works of fighters that this kid can look forward to fighting against. Yonis
yeah.
Anane.
Yeah, definitely gonna keep an eye on him for the future. But let's hope he gets off to a great start. I'm
Yeah.
hoping for a statement start here from the young man, and yeah, let's keep an eye out for that one. Let us know your thoughts in the comments, as always, ladies and gentlemen. And now we'll go to some atomweight Muay Thai. We know how it goes in the atomweight division, but blink and you miss it. So keep your eyes open for this one, ladies and gentlemen. We do have the very exciting prospect of Nadaka Yoshinari, who is 24 years
Yeah.
old, undefeated in one championship, 1-0 last time out. He beat very well seasoned Rak Erwan by third round KO. He's coming up against Banluelok, who is
Hmm.
28 years old. He's also undefeated in one championship as 3-0. He's got two wins by KO, one by TKO. So all finishes here. And last time out, he beat Pet Banrai by first round TKO. BG, another flash knockout for Banluelok, or is
Yeah.
the prospect of Yoshinari going to be too much for him?
You look if uh, I remember when they put this when they announced this fight, one of the gyms in Thailand put out the million baht on Nadaka Yoshinari losing this fight, and I think Banluelok
Ooh.
is going to knock him out. So they know something we don't know here. And I've watched Banluelok, and Banluelok he's scary, dude. He's got dynamite in those hands. He's high pace, right? Darts in really well, and lets the 1-2 go and darts out again. It's just brilliant to watch. But Nadaka Yoshinari is something else, dude. He's the way that he fights is that he nullifies anything and everyone, and he gets into fighters' heads because then he'll trip you and then walk off in a way that you're like, yeah, why must he do that? Because then he does this Conor McGregor walk when he trips you and he gets into his opponent's heads really well. I mean, he fought against Song Chonoi, who is probably one of the most powerful fight punches in the atomweight division, right? And Nadeka Yoshinari like humiliated him, like nullified him to the point where it's like, wow, you're not even on my level. You're not even on my level. Like I don't want to fight you again, right? And Song Kano is arguably one of the top three fighters in this division in one championship, right? And Eric Missionary walked right through him. So I just think that I'm a bit worried about that 1 million baht bet because that's telling me something that that actually don't know nothing about these two athletes. When I hear that, I'm like, hey, yeah. What are they seeing in Banluelok that I'm not seeing here? You know, because I think skillfully pound for pound, I think Nadaka Yoshinari is better than Banluelok in terms of how he navigates the cage, how he utilizes his weapons. And if you look at the fight against Rak Erwan at 1172, that was a masterclass of how to beat someone up over the course of the fight. And then when it comes to the last round, you're like, now I'm going to drop your ass. And you just put him out, bro. And Rak is
Yeah,
also a top fighter. I've watched Rak fight a few times in one championship. Rak is a top fighter, and he got beaten up every single round by Nadaka Yoshinari. So I just think that Banluelok's best chance is obviously knockout. His best chance is to dart in and land a heavy blow early, because the longer the fight's going to go on, another guy's going to get his timing, he's going to get his strategy down, he's going to get his information sucked in, and he's going to realize, like, no, I'm going to beat you. Cyborg vibes. All right, lock onto the target, deploy the strategy, beat him up. That's what we're going to see in this fight. So, yeah, Banluelok's going to have to get a knockout in that first, and otherwise he's going to lose the fight, in my opinion.
fair play, BG. Yeah, so very high stakes there. And like we said, ladies and gentlemen, keep your eyes open for that one because if you blink,
Yeah,
you will miss it.
absolutely.
But all right then, BG, we'll go now to a catchweight fight. Also a Muay Thai bout. We have Asahi
Mhm.
Shinagawa, who is 23 years old and he's 1-1 in one championship. Last time out, he lost to Rui Botello by split decision. He's coming up against Petphupa, who is 19 years old. He's 2-2 in one championship. Last time out, beat Chatawi by unanimous decision. BG, what can you tell us
Mhm.
here, bro?
Um, this is going to be a fast-paced fight as well. I watched Petphupa a few times, and he's a fascinating, fun kid to watch. Got a cool style about him. He utilizes his long limbs in a good way. Good elbows. Just not very durable. Asahi Shinagawa. My only concern, he didn't lose to Roy Botello. He beat Roy Botello in his last fight was split decision, but that was in 2022. We're
Mhm.
2025 now. So I don't know what he's been doing since then. He's staying out of the gym where Nadaka Yoshinari comes from. So we know what they breed there. They breed some talented fighters, right? Some very skillful athletes. So I think stylistically, I think Shinagawa should win this fight on paper. But I think Petphupa is a killer, man. He's a killer, and he's tall. You know, he's a tall dude for this division. What weight class are they fighting at? 120 pounds. So they're 5 pounds below the flyweight division. So that's almost touching strawweight. So that, and we know what the tall guys look like in strawweight. Alif showed us what that looks like when you utilize that range. And Petphupa does have that same sort of movement and style. After Super Bun's gym, so you know he's going to be very kick heavy. So if I pick a winner, yeah, I'm going to go with Petphupa just because he's been fighting over the last 3 years, where Asai Shinagawa hasn't. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just gonna
Mhm.
go with the fighter that's more active and it's got the momentum on his side. So let's see what happens here.
Fair play. Yeah, ring rust is a real thing. But if you have different thoughts, let us know in the comments. We'll go to our final fight we're going to cover here. That is
Hmm.
Jurai Ishii, who is 19 years old, undefeated in the one championship at 1-0. Last time out, he beat Satoshi Katashima by unanimous decision. He's coming up against Yonis Mounine, 23 years old, and this is his one championship debut, as you can see by the silhouette there. BG,
Hmm.
over to you, sir. Take us home.
Yeah, I put this fight on our notes because it's there's information on one of the fighters that's in the fight card. That's in that fight, obviously in Jurai Ishii. Don't know anything about the two guys really. Just excited to see the matchup because Yunus is fighting out of Morocco. You know the Moroccan fighters bring a style that a lot of the Thai guys or in Muay Thai traditional Muay Thai fighters struggle with because it's very kickboxing heavy. So I think that's going to be a fun fight to watch. Um, if I'm not mistaken, Jurai he beat Satoshi, and that fight was unanimous decision. That was last year. I just can't really remember how it played out. But I'm keen to see what's going to happen here. I mean, there's obviously a win in the one dude's column in Jurai's column, but I think he's going to go up against an athlete that might surprise him. Even though I don't know anything about Yunus Munin, I think Yunus Munin is going to utilize that kickboxing style that Jurai probably hasn't necessarily seen, considering he's only 19 years old. But regardless, I think that's also going to be a good fight for the fight card. So let's tune in, dude. One Friday fights, we're doing that live. It's going to be a fascinating fight card. So let's go.
Let's go indeed. And that will round us out nicely. As you can see, we have a submission grappling match opening here. Takuma Sudo versus Shamsuddin Magomedov. And that
Hmm.
will open us up for the live stream. So be sure to catch us for that one. Uh, BG, we're going to go to some final thoughts and a
Yeah.
pre-fight rating for the card, please, sir.
Okay, I'll keep it nice and short and sweet because I'm still going to take my laundry off the line. Um, Final thoughts on the fight card. Even though we lost the Felipe Lobo Kulabdam main event, it's still very much an action-packed fight card. And if you look at the names on this fight card, all these guys on this fight card are knockout specialists. So that for me is making the pre-fight rating of the fight card a solid 8. Let's go.
Let's go. Eight, eight, eight. Let's go. Let's go. Put it. And yeah, again, absolutely stacked for the Friday fight card. I think 8 out of 10 is a fair score. So I'm gonna agree with you there, BG. Let us know your thoughts in the comments in terms of pre-fight rating, ladies and gentlemen. But as always, if you have made it this far, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe. All those good things. Got new content coming every
I
day. So
watch
you
a podcast every
every
fucking
day.
day. Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan. But for myself, BG, BB, Jedi Knight, all of us here at Fighting with Friends, thank you so much again for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.